Hi, my name is DisasterEXE. Today I'm going to show you how to make keychains.
Let's get started. So the first thing we want to do is find a position for our Yoshi pattern. If we're going to be working on several of these, I would suggest starting from the upper left corner so that you can fit as many Yoshis as possible. In this case, we're going to start from the tail and then count how many beats up we can go. In this case, 7. Okay, there we have it. This is our basic design for Yoshi. One of the most important parts in here when you're making keychains is deciding whether you're going to use the keyhole on one of the beats per se, or if you're going to leave a gap. So, for the sake of your sprite, if you want to make a clear sprite, if you want to make a clean sprite like this one, which means there are no alterations, by all means, when you iron it, you need to leave a gap here, which means you don't have to iron it all the way through. Now, one of the other possibilities that you have is creating a gap. Now, in this sprite is kind of difficult to leave a gap, so the other possibility that you have is using clear Perler beads, the transparent kind. I don't know if you can see it well here, but we have some beads there. If you close this as a square, you're going to leave a gap there, which is going to let you place your ring right there. That's one of the possibilities. The other possibility I'll show you right now is if it's part of another sprite, let's say this one right here, then you can actually make a hole in the middle. As long as it's not too, let's say, invasive. For example, in this case, in the case of this panda, it doesn't really matter that you have a hole. However, if you do make a hole here in Yoshi's head, it's gonna look kind of weird. So, in this case, I guess we're not gonna make a hole. We're just gonna use the same hole from the beats, which means we're not gonna iron it all the way through. Now, the way I told you to position your Yoshis or any kind of sprite that you want to make, even if it's a panda or a Game Boy, is so that you can make as many as possible. In this case, Yoshi, I think you can fit probably about 2 per side, and actually, I don't think you can do more than 4 or 5. Maybe if you separate them like this, you could possibly make 5 and then 1 in the middle. So the idea here is that you can optimize how many keychains you can make per pegboard. Okay, so the iron is hot, our paper is ready. What we're gonna do right now is carefully place the ironing paper on top, possibly around here. I'm gonna fix the camera. There we go. Are we back? Yeah, there we go. So, what I was talking about, we are gonna iron it for a couple of seconds. Then what we're gonna do is something that's, we like to call on the stream the half bake. So basically it means we're not gonna iron it all the way through. And then we remove the sprite. Put away the pegboards. And this is the part where you want to be extremely careful. So we want to iron the entire body except for this little bead on the upper left corner. We want to leave that open so that we can fit a ring there. And now we are going to iron it from the other side. Once again, you need to make sure that the, in this case, the upper right bead, we're not going to iron it all the way through. But the entire body, we want to iron it as much as possible so that it's durable. This is one of the reasons why I like to iron all my sprites thoroughly. Let's not forget that we're working on a keychain, and it has to be solid enough so that it doesn't bend and break in your pockets. Okay, I'm gonna turn off my iron so that it doesn't get really hot in here. Also, I don't want to melt the cable, so I'm gonna put it away for sure. So we're gonna let this one cool down for a couple of seconds and then we'll be right back. And we're back. So our Yoshi sprite is cooler now. It's colder, definitely. And as you can see, pretty much the entire sprite is completely ironed. We're not gonna leave any gaps. It's gotta be solid enough, and we did leave a tiny hole right there in that bead. So what you're gonna do now is get a keychain. Now you can buy this in crafting stores, or you know, if you have just a really old one laying around, you can just go ahead and take it apart. And what you're gonna do is pass this ring right through that bead, and then the chain like this. So you're gonna take both ends with your pliers or whatever. You can even use your hands if you're strong enough. I don't like to make mistakes, so I'm not gonna do that. And then close that ring like that. If you want to go the extra step, that gap right between the two ends of the ring, you're gonna hide it inside the bead. That way it's not gonna come out. And there we have it. We have a Yoshi keychain. Now, you need to be careful with basically the design of your keychains. The entire idea of making keychains is that you can put it, I don't know, with your keys. I mean, duh. But the whole thing has to fit in your pocket. So you need to be careful with the patterns that you decide to use. For example, right here we have Papyrus from Undertale. And this guy, I had to edit it and cut his teeth because it was way too long. So anything that you do, you need to be careful and make sure that it fits in your pocket. Once again, you have many options. You can use the gaps from the beads, you can leave a gap yourself, or you can actually create a gap with the way I showed you with the transparent beads. Whatever you do, make sure you iron it from both sides so that it's strong enough, so that it's durable, nothing happens to them. And what else can I tell you? Nope, that's about it. That's how you make a keychain. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I will be uploading more tutorials and crafting sessions. So thank you very much for watching and see you next time.